Welcome to another quick tips and tricks video. Today we're going to be covering backup and restore of your save file, which is also the world file. So why do you care? Well, you probably do if you've been playing the game, because once in a while something gets corrupted. Maybe it's your player file, maybe it's the region file or chunks that you've been building in, and you end up losing part of your base or all of your base. And not having a backup of your save means that you cannot restore it. Fortunately, it's quite easy. The first thing you want to do is that you want to locate the correct location on your hard drive or your SSD if that's what you're using. Normally it's under local disk C, users, and of course your username, which is video in Windows for me, app data, roaming, and 7 days to die. Here you'll see a couple of different folders and files. The backup folder is actually one I've created where I keep mine. So that's something I would recommend doing. Either put it on just in here or just put it on a different hard drive. After that, you go into the saves location, and if it's a Navigaine, you go into the Navigaine, or if it's random gen, you go into the random gen. Here you see all the worlds that you have. So if you look at, for instance, my Alpha 16 test, if I check the properties, you'll see that it's a total of 181 megabytes. So that's the size of the world file. So if I want to back this up, well, make sure you're not playing at the time. You just do a copy, and now I'm going to go back up to my backup folder, and I'm going to paste it. And it's copied in. Of course, it can take a little bit more time if it's a few gigabytes. But that's actually it as far as copying the world file. So now I have a backup. One thing you want to make sure is that you don't change the folder name. If you want to make sure you date it, let's say I want to do a 2nd May 2018, so I remember, make a folder instead of changing the actual name of that folder. So I have that inside here. Why? Well, you can change this and say, well, this is the 2nd May 2018. The problem is when you then copy it back, say you want to restore it, you have to edit this one, because the folder name is also the game name. The game name is the seed name. If this one changes, the world generation changes. And a clash and mismatch of this can cause some very weird terrain generation as well as distant terrain. So don't do that. It will just frustrate you if you end up doing that, and you have a lot of problems. I did that when I was playing multiplayer with friends. I changed the name because I was backing it up and I was putting a date, and I forgot to change it back when I restored it. And then I was spending a lot of time trying to fix that problem. Now, how do we restore it? Well, easy as copying. You copy it again, and we go back to the saves location, a random gen, and you just paste it in. Well, you probably should delete the previous one just so you don't just overwrite, because they might not be identical, and paste it in, and it's done. If I start up the game, this is the version I'll be playing with. Very simple, isn't it? So it's always a good idea to ensure that you have some backups, such as after a major gaming session, either solo player with friends. You don't necessarily have to do it every time, but once in a while, so that if you do suffer corruption or loss, you have a way to restore. If you have a minor issue, you don't actually have to copy the whole folder. For instance, let's say you have a specific region that has been corrupted, you can just take that one from the backup and paste it in. Or if your player gets corrupted, you could take that from the backup as well and paste it in. Corruption and loss of the world is unfortunately one of the things we have to live with for the foreseeable future. So doing it this way can save you a lot of frustration. There is nothing worse than spending months in the world building something great and then losing it all due to corruption with no way to restore it. So I hope you've enjoyed. Do subscribe and like if you want to see more. Have a great one.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link below.